Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well. We're getting ready to start summer, and I haven't really done a book review in a while, and so I thought I would review a book that I ran across several months ago, and I thought I would share it because I think it has great value for all of us, but particularly in the field of trying to create healthy habits. And the book was Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, this book was published back in 2018 and big New York Times bestseller. So if you've read it, I think you probably understand his point. But basically what he's trying to do is show that you can change habits in order to achieve our goals. And in our world, certainly it's the goals of creating health. And many of us have great habits, but we still struggle with certain areas. And so understanding ways that we can try to change habits can be quite beneficial. And we've all heard, it takes 3 weeks to change a habit. Well, honestly, maybe not so much. Maybe there's other aspects of that, and 3 weeks may not always be enough to really change a habit. And he kind of goes through, he argues that just small incremental changes can have sustainable results and can lead to big changes over time. And he uses a framework to kind of give us an idea of how we can create and maintain habits as well, new habits, as well as kind of getting away and breaking old habits. He divides the book into 4 parts. There's the 4 laws of behavioral change. There's the habits of highly effective people, the power of habits, and the science of habits. Now, in this first part, he talks about the 4 laws of behavioral change. And in his world, he has categorized this as he wants you to make it obvious, he wants you to make it attractive, he wants you to make it easy, and he wants you to make it satisfying. So understanding that trying to make a habit change is seeing your goal and where you want to go with it, but in making small changes, making it easy and satisfying and attractive and just obvious is his approach to these 4 general laws of behavior change. He explains that he uses these laws to create the habits that we want to try to stick to. And in our world of creating health, whether it's in the area of nutrition, needing to make a change with nutrition, do you need to perhaps cut out something or add something to your nutritional program? Do you need to change timing of eating? Are you interested in an intermittent fasting program, an extended fasting program, trying to change the way you snack, maybe eating earlier in the day? These are all things that take mindfulness and sticking to a structure so that it becomes easy and satisfying and works well for the goal of creating health. It could be in more exercise or changing the way you exercise, doing more resistance training, more weight work, not as much cardio, just trying to make some changes in that area so that if you want to achieve more muscle strength or endurance, looking at ways to do that. It also has to do with managing sleep. How are we going to sleep better? Making changes in that nighttime habit in your hygiene so that you have good, effective, rejuvenative sleep. Is it a stress issue? A lot of us so desperately need help dealing with stressors and anxiety and depression. And there are things that we can do, just small incremental things that can pay off dividends in terms of helping to reduce stress, reduce that stress response within our body, and move toward a more healing and healthy type of lifestyle and help us just to feel better. Stress can be really an overwhelming issue as far as just knocking down our health, and it can be something that's easy. In many instances, just small changes can make a difference. The second part of his book, he talks about the habits of highly effective people and successful people, and he discusses their habits and how they've achieved success because they've developed systems of creating and maintaining good, healthy habits. The third part, he talks about just the power of habits. He argues that they're powerful because they become automatic. And when it's automatic, it's not something we have to think about. It takes little effort to do it. And that can be a good thing and a bad thing, but basically if you have good habits, then you can help, this really helps you achieve the goals, whether again, in the area of creating health as far as what we're talking about, but it can certainly be in any area of your life. And if you have bad habits, they can really hold you back. So making that transition and creating good, healthy habits can be very valuable to your success in whatever area that you're looking into. And then lastly, he talks about the science of habits and how habits are formed and how they can be changed and how they can be damaging versus how they can be beneficial, and the challenges that we all face when we're trying to change habits. I know for me, many years ago, I was a 2 Splenda a day coffee drinker. I put sugar and Splenda or whatever in everything. I put sweetener in everything, and it literally did take 3 or 4 weeks to I just made the decision and just stopped doing it. But it was something that I had to be very mindful of. And now if I don't even think about putting sweetener in anything. But at the time, it was a pretty big challenge because I was so used to having that. Now again, just a simple thing, whether it's changing sweeteners, trying to get off soft drinks, trying to get off gluten, trying to reduce dairy, etc. These are all very beneficial things for creating health, but they do take time and they take effort, and yet they can be very satisfying once you get to that point where you achieve it, because you can sense how much better you feel. You might sleep better. Certainly from a weight standpoint, it might help decrease your desire to eat sugar, which we know is going to always be a better influence as far as our health is concerned. So the idea here is that we do face challenges in trying to change our habits, but they can really pay off well when you are able to change these habits, and not trying to do more than one at a time. Just take small baby steps, just these small incremental changes. And it can provide us with really, as he says, a clear and concise framework for maintaining and creating good health by following his recommendations. And this particular book, if you haven't read it, is a really good place to start in looking at ways that you might want to consider making some life changes for the better. So, good book review, Atomic Habits by James Clear. You might want to pick it up and give it a shot. You all have a great week. We'll talk again soon.